Today I'm going to show you how to crochet an amigurumi heart. I'm using a 4.0 millimeter size G crochet hook and red heart with love yarn. First off, we're going to start by making a loose slip knot. If you need help with any of the stitches that I'm using in this tutorial, I'm going to leave the links below to all my video tutorials. Now that I've made a loose slip knot, I'm going to chain one. And now I'm going to put 5 single crochets into the loose slip knot. Now I'm going to pull on the tail end to close the hole. Now I'm just going to place a stitch marker. After you've made a few of these hearts, you probably won't need a stitch marker, but I'm going to use one to show y'all. So now that I've put in my stitch marker, I'm going to put in 2 single crochets into each stitch around. Now if you want to count your stitches, there should be 10 stitches around. I'm going to move my stitch marker. Now I'm going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around. Now that you've made your first lobe, you can take your stitch marker out, cut the yarn, and pull the yarn through the last stitch. Now you can take your darning needle and thread it through the yarn. Now I'm just going to make an invisible join. So this is the last stitch, and this is the first stitch of the round. So I'm going to skip the first stitch of the round. I'm going to put my needle through both loops of this stitch. It through, and now I'm going to put my needle and thread it through just the back loop of the very last stitch that we made. And there is your invisible join. Now you can turn this lobe right side out and weave in your ends. Here is one that I've already weaved the ends in for. I'm going to set it aside and I'm going to make another lobe. But remember, do not cut the working yarn for your second lobe, and make sure the tail end is 8 to 10 inches long. I've just finished my second lobe. I have not cut the yarn. So now I have this lobe right side out. And I have this lobe right side out, so I'm going to hold them together and just pick a stitch and insert my hook through the stitch Now I'm going to yarn over and pull up a loop. And now I'm going to yarn over again and draw through both loops, creating a single crochet. And now you have connected your two lobes. Now for this round, I'm going to put a single crochet in each of the rest of the 9 stitches on the first lobe that we made. Now that we have put a single crochet in all 10 stitches of the first lobe, we're going to continue going around and put a single crochet in each of the 10 stitches on the second lobe. This is the stitch that we've already worked into, so skip that one and go into this stitch. Now when we've connected the hearts, there's a little hole. Here in a minute we are going to use the tail end to sew up that hole. Continue single crocheting around this lobe until you have 20 stitches in total around the whole heart. Now I'm going to go ahead and move my stitch marker. Now I'm going to take my darning needle and thread it through that tail end. Pull on the tail end to make sure that the hole is closed. Now I'm going to make a knot. After I've made that knot, I'm just going to take my darning needle and stitch through a few of these stitches to close that hole. Now you can knot it and weave in your end. Now that you've done that, you can flip the heart back to where the right side is out. For this round, we're just going to put a single crochet in each stitch around. So you should have 20 stitches in total. Now I'm going to move my stitch marker again. This round I'm going to put an invisible single crochet decrease into the next 2 stitches all the way around. To make an invisible single crochet decrease, I'm going to insert my hook into the front loop only of this next stitch and into the front loop only of the next stitch, yarn over, pull through both of those, yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. Now I'm going to continue doing that all the way around. Again, if you need help with any of the stitches that I've used in this video tutorial, I have more video tutorials on all the separate stitches, and I will leave those links below. Now that we've finished this round, I'm going to move my stitch marker. And now I'm going to go ahead and start stuffing my heart. We've stuffed the heart. It's time for our last round. For the last round, I'm going to put an invisible single crochet decrease into the next 2 stitches all the way around. At the end of this row, you should have 5 stitches. Now you can remove your stitch marker, cut the yarn, and pull the yarn through the last stitch. Now you can check your heart and see if you need to put any more stuffing in. I'm going to stuff mine just a little bit more. If you can't use your finger, you can use the back of your crochet hook or a chopstick. Whatever you need to use to get that stuffing in there. Okay. Now I'm going to thread my darning needle. Now we're going to close up this hole. This was the last stitch that we worked into. So I'm going to thread my needle into the front loop only of the next stitch and continue doing that all the way around. Once you've done that all the way around, pull on your tail end to close the hole. Now I like to make a little knot. And now I'm just going to thread the needle through the heart to hide in my tail. And there is your little heart. I hope y'all liked this video. If you did, please give it a huge thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe now so you don't miss any future videos. Also, you can hit that bell so that you can be notified every time I put up a new video. Oh, and if y'all have any ideas for future videos that you would like for me to make, please comment below. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. Until next time, bye!